And we go live on Facebook.
Dr. Hibatullah, can you hear me better? Now she's telling me that my voice is low. Can you hear me, everyone? Is my voice okay?
Yes, your voice is excellent, Dr. Sama.
Okay, thank you.
Great, and we are live on Facebook. Great. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Dear respected ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and good day for all of you from around the world. Thank you for joining us tonight as we are gathering of 390 and now we reach 400 delegates from 15 different countries. We are very excited to host you tonight. Our mission in IVPN Journal Club is to share the latest published evidence, learn from high caliber and world-class pharmacotherapy experts in analyzing primary literature, read beyond the trial's context, and ultimately to optimize direct patient care and clinical practice. And I would like to sincerely encourage and welcome all of you to join IVPN Journal Club listserv among all other IVPN listservs if you are not yet part of this vibrant community for endless opportunities for growth. And here are the steps that I would like to show you. If you can you see my screen just to make sure?
Yes.
Excellent. So if you go to IVPN network, you can see here the ivpn-network.com. You can of course explore all the resources you have free at your hand, and you can go to listservs as you can see and the journal club. If you go there, you will find the objective and then you will find the button to join. And then you can just write your name and you can, and some information where you can join not only Journal Club, but also other listservs that will contribute to your growth and success. And then you subscribe. And also within the website, you can browse in the library Journal Club. All of our previous Journal Club, we have done over 25 presentations over the past 1 year, as well as the digest, IVPN Journal Club Digest, where we have done over 8 digests over the past also 7 months. And tonight is actually a special night in IVPN Journal Club history, as it marks the launching of the skills building workshop series that focus on building and generating the next generation of brilliant and game-changing researchers in the medical field with Dr. Sama Al-Tabba. You will learn in our first topic in this series about the optimal techniques, tips and tricks to maximize your literature review skills. That is an essential skill for crafting a successful research project if done properly. We are honored tonight to host Dr. Sama Al-Tabba, really distinguished speaker, researcher, educator, and caregiver. She is also an integral member of IVPN Journal Club listserv working group. And you will learn more about her background with our moderator, Dr. Jumana Al-Salloum. Additionally, what will make this session even more interactive and influential is having Dr. Jumana as our renowned moderator for tonight's webinar. And a brief info about Dr. Al-Salloum is that Dr. Jumana holds a PharmD degree from Gulf Medical University and a master's degree in clinical pharmacy infectious disease specialty from GMU. Moreover, she became recently American board pharmacotherapy specialist, and she works as a clinical preceptor and lecturer at GMU, responsible for training PharmD students at their experiential learning years and delivering lectures within pharmacy practice department. Also, she serves as a registered clinical pharmacist at Thombe University Hospital with more than 3 years of practice in the pharmacy field. Her areas of experience involves critical care, ICU and emergency, pediatric and infectious disease, beside the clinical teaching in the same areas. Proudly, Dr. Saloom is the chief editor of the widely known IVPN Journal Club Digest and a significant contributor to many IVPN Journal Club activities. Now, I will shift that stage to our outstanding moderator for tonight, Dr. Jumana, wishing you a wonderful moderation and webinar, and the screen and mic is all yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ahmed, for this wonderful introduction. And I would love to welcome everyone today for this outstanding session with an outstanding speaker, inshallah. Without any delay, let me introduce you to our amazing, let's say, colleague and speaker at the same time. Dr. Sama Al-Tabba holds a BS in Medical Lab Technology from the American University of Beirut and a PharmD in Clinical Pharmacy from the Lebanese American University, LAU. She is currently the co-founder and the CEO of the Medical Agency for Research and Statistics, MARS. After her graduation, Dr. Al-Tabba held the position as a chief pharmacist at the WHO Beirut office. She also supervised and directed a number of projects for the Ministry of Health and also supervised the training programs for the National Laboratory on laboratory management. Throughout her work, she has been involved in clinical research, more specifically in training workshops carried out at the national and regional levels in the delivery of sessions on different aspects of the conducting of clinical research, as well as in the conduction of different clinical research projects. She is the author of many scientific papers published in peer-reviewed journals, as well as a booklet titled The Clinical Research Process from Initiation to Publication. So here we have an expert in the field to show you today and explore with you literature review in PubMed, and inshallah by the end of the session you will develop at least the basic skills throughout this workshop. I just wanted to tell you that if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat, and at the end of the session, inshallah, we'll have a QA session in order to answer your questions. Dr. Sama, the floor is yours.
Habibti Jumana, thank you so much. You can hear me? You can
Yes,
hear my voice?
perfectly.
Yes, thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. Let me first begin by thanking Dr. Osama Tabbara, who is our leader in IVPN network. This house which gathers us all under its roof, and we are really all passionate about everything we're doing. Dr. Ahmad, who is our leader in IVPN Journal Club, and who is leading us to all the success that we are doing. And my colleague and sweetest colleague, Jumana, she is very silent in nature, but very outwardly in her achievements. Habibti Jumana, I'm so happy for you, for your moderation tonight, and inshallah, we will have a wonderful session. Dear everybody, ladies and gentlemen, doctors, students, everyone, I want to welcome you in this session. It is one of the most important sessions. I had a lengthy discussion with Ahmad, convincing him, and he was convinced for making this session, because out of our experience, and Jumana, from your experience as the editor-in-chief for the journal, we have noticed that there is a little bit gap in knowledge in literature search. Okay,
True.
so and we got so many questions about where to search, what are the good sources, what are the bad sources, how to search efficiently. So we came up with the idea of this. Exactly. So we came up with this, the idea of this lecture. And literature search, as we will see now, it is one of the basic steps in the literature process, in the clinical research process. Okay. For example, if you are in a pharmacy, your inventory is medications. In research, your inventory are the articles. You begin searching for the articles that you will work on, and you will build your info on. So, not to make the short story long, let me begin. I will just show you this slide, which I always use in my presentations, which summarizes the whole research process in general. Okay, the research process begins with identifying a research idea. So you don't come and say, I want to make a research paper, and you don't have an idea about that. Okay, to have an idea or a good idea about what you are going to search, you will first make or carry out a general literature review. Why? For example, I want to make a paper about diabetes mellitus. Okay, I want to go search the literature generally about this topic to see how much papers are published in this topic, in what depth this topic has been discussed. Okay, maybe this topic is exhausted, so many papers are published, therefore it will be a waste of effort, a waste of resources, a waste of time. Okay, after I decide that, for example, COVID-19 vaccination, let us talk about this example because it's the most current. COVID-19 vaccination side effects. Okay, when we go, if we want to publish a paper, if we want to publish a paper about this topic, we'll go and we will search how many papers are published, in which countries, how did they deal with the topic. Okay, after that, okay, we will find that there is a gap in knowledge in this topic, and if we publish a paper, it will have some scientific, it will help in scientific advancements in the field. So what we will do, we will turn this idea, our research idea, and we will see how into a research question. The research question is a very important part of the literature review process, because sometimes when people or when researchers or students or even doctors are searching, I go and ask them, they come and ask me, how are we going to search? I go and ask them, what is your research question? First, you have to know your research question, because in this research question, and we will go over that, there are certain elements which you will use and which are called keywords, which you will use in your search. The second step after we define our research question, after we design it, is the specific literature review. What is the difference between the general and the specific literature review? As we said, the general literature review is searching if the topic in general is published, it is dealt with, it is discussed, it is studied. Okay, when we define our research question, for example, also in COVID-19 vaccination, side effects of COVID-19 vaccines in, and it has to be specific, the research question, we will give examples in diabetic patients, for example. Okay, so side effects of COVID-19 vaccination in diabetic patients. Now I go to the specific literature review step, which is I will search for papers not only about COVID-19 vaccination, no, about COVID-19 vaccination side effects in diabetic patients. So my search is going down, narrower and more specific. We will give examples about everything. Okay. After we define our research question, after we make literature search, we collect our papers. These steps are not the highlight of our topic tonight, but I will go quickly over them. We define our study design according to the research question. Okay, then we will write our proposal. We will get an IRB approval, collect our data, collect our data and analyze it. Then we will report the analysis results, as well as then we will publish our papers. So our highlight today is about literature review, and I will talk about both general and specific literature review don't differ in the techniques, in the tips, and the tricks. Okay, it just differs in the depth of my search. It took too long about this slide, but it is the most important one in the lecture. Okay, literature review techniques. First of all, when we say literature review, we think that you put the words in the search tab, and that's it. Khalas, we will get papers. What we will get, we will have. No, it is, and I always put the very important words in highlights and in colors. It is a well thought out. You have to think about what you are searching for, and organized search. Organized search in the sense of you have these keywords, you go by order in searching for these keywords, and I will show you how. You will save the searches that you have, because, for example, you search for the first keyword, you will get 35 papers. So you will know how to save these 35 papers, how to put them into folders. Okay, and it is unorganized. You cannot get one keyword from here, one keyword from there. It will become a salad. Okay. For a search, it is a well thought out and organized search for all the literature published on that specific topic. You don't want to miss an important paper, and at the same time, you don't want to search for papers and get low quality papers. I want to tell you something. In research, there is a concept called GIGO. What you put in, you get out. Okay. فإذن, it's called garbage in, garbage out. It is not a nice word, but it is a term. What you put in, you will get. If you put garbage, you will get garbage. If you depend in your research about low quality papers, no matter how much you study, you work on your study, no matter what are the resources, the paper will be a low quality paper, your paper. Okay. Another thing is that it is a specific and detailed search about the topic. As we said, in the part of the specific literature review, you are specifically looking for, sometimes you will spend one whole day looking for certain articles in a specific period of time, okay, or about a specific age group. So it is a specific and detailed search about a topic. And if you don't be specific, organized, and well thought, you will be stuck in a vicious, endless search circle. Yani, meaning that you will always be stuck in this maze. You will put the keywords, same keywords, you will get the same papers, and you will go around a loop. You will never go out of the circle to get good quality paper. Okay? As we said, you will end up with low quality literature. Okay? And this will be our situation. Okay? Turning out your topic into a research question. As I said, the most important part is to turn out our topic into a research question. You cannot just come and say, I am looking for the side effects of X on Y in this age group. No. You have to turn it into a well-thought research question. طيب, what is a research question? A research question is a question that has 4 elements, that has these components. These are called the PICO elements. And sometimes when you go and when you submit your paper, sorry, Jumana, they are telling me the sound is low. Can you hear me well? I'm getting the...
We can't hear you, but if you can put both of the headphones, so
okay.
It doesn't...
No,
yes.
It is better. It is better now.
Yeah,
I am so sorry. Mahmoud Gharib, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. Now, if it's better, please tell Jumana. It's better now, Jumana, yes? Okay. So the research question have 4 topics, 4 components, which are called the PICO. These 4 components, the PICO components, they are very famous. Sometimes when you publish the paper or you publish a paper, they ask you in the publication, during the publication process, define your PICO elements. And if you don't define your PICO elements, you will not be able to carry out what we call the well-thought, organized literature search, okay? We have this research question in what are P? P is the population. P are the population, who are the people or the sample you are taking for the study, the type of population. I is the intervention. What did you give or what did you give the patient? C is the comparative to the intervention. Okay, maybe it's a placebo, maybe it's no medication, okay? And O is the outcome. Every study has these elements, okay? Must have these elements, okay? Let us take this example. For example, in post-splenectomy thalassaemic patients, does aspirin reduce the risk of thrombosis? We must have a question mark here, okay? This is our research question. What are the elements? P is the population who are post-splenectomy in actually thalassaemic patients. Okay, what is the intervention? What are we giving the intervention? We are giving them aspirin. Okay, to reduce the outcome, which is thrombosis. So I is the aspirin. What is the comparison? Try to think. Giving those aspirin and comparing to the ones who did not take aspirin. So this is the comparison, and the outcome is risk of thrombosis. So these are our components to a research question. Sometimes let us think about it in the other way around. If you are not that talented in defining questions or designing sentences, you can do the other way around. You can define what are the PICO elements. Okay, for example, my patients may be diabetic patients. The intervention is the COVID-19 vaccine. The comparison is no COVID-19 vaccine, and the risk is the risk of thrombosis, for example. Okay, so you can define the PICO elements and then you can design them into a question. Okay, a research question. Right. Now as we said, we have two types of literature, the general literature review and the specific literature review. Nevertheless, they don't differ in the way we search for the paper, except for the depth we are looking for, okay? Where do we get our resources in literature search? Life is not only around PubMed, okay? Our title in this lecture is Literature Search Techniques using PubMed because it's the most famous and the most inclusive. But let me tell you, there are many resources. You can, in your paper, use books. Books can be resources, but you have to be very careful about the dates of the books. Usually, information from books is outdated. Why? Because you don't publish a book every day. It takes time for authors to publish books. So by the time the book is published, it takes 7 to 8 months. New information is there. So usually in the books or from the books, you depend on the facts, for example, definitions, but not the current information and the very static movement of information, okay? For example, definitions, concepts, procedures, you can get these from books, but they are allowed, you can. Conference materials, for example, if a conference is done and there are the proceedings of the conference, you can depend on that. You can get from a thesis or dissertation, but definitely there are levels for the literature search quality in these. This thesis and dissertation can be put as a reference, but it can be a comparison. For example, the method used in the thesis, for example, or you can say that people studied this method in this thesis, okay? Electronic databases, which is the main topic of our webinar tonight, and the internet. Definitely, there is a difference between the electronic databases and the internet. We will talk about them in a while, okay? Before I proceed, let me just define the word periodicals. What do you think periodicals are? Because it's very important. From the word periodic, meaning that on a regular basis. So periodicals or periodic means either daily, weekly, monthly, 4 times a year, quarterly, once a year, etc. So periodicals are magazines or journals that are always or periodically being published. These magazines or journals, they are not the best source for our information. And I've never seen, honestly, any paper having in the reference list magazines or researchers, okay? This is just for later when we will mention the periodicals. Let us talk now about the electronic databases, which are one of our sources for literature search. Electronic database, what is electronic database? From the word, if you want to buy a book, you cross the street, you go to the library, you buy a book, a physical book, okay? On the other hand, electronic databases are libraries, but electronically, that locate books, periodicals, and other documents electronically. We are in an era where everything is electronic, the e-learning, etc. Everything, even the operations, they are being done electronically from one continent to the other. The doctor is in Africa and the operation is done in London, okay? So the electronic databases are a revolution in the world of databases. Why? Because they ease up everything. Imagine every time, I remember when I used to study in my PharmD, we used to go to the library. I am from that age, the age where you go to the library, you open the drawer, you bring the card, you know them, Shumana, you are smiling. You broke this flash card, you read the name of the book, you give it to the librarian, you wait for 15 minutes, he brings the book, you look at it, it's not the info that you want, you have to wait another 15 minutes and do it all around. And if it is the same book that you want, you have to go to write the information. So this is all revolutionized by the electronic databases. Well, I mentioned that we have electronic databases and internet. What is the difference, and can we use the internet in our resources? No, the internet cannot be used. Why? Because in the internet information is not peer reviewed. For example, but there is an exception, I will come to it later. If you put in Google a name of a keyword and you get information, okay? You cannot use that because they are not peer reviewed. What is the meaning of peer review? The word peer review comes from the idea of if I want someone to evaluate my work, the best person to evaluate my work is the person who is from the same level, from my same educational level, okay? So Peer reviews are people of the same education level who are reviewing each other's work. Okay, so in internet, there are no peer reviews. There are no control in that. While in the electronic databases, every single item which is published is peer reviewed. Another thing, in the internet, no control. There is no control of the information that's going there. You don't know if it is audited in the sense of auditing, if it is checked up, it is correct information, it is not correct. While in the electronic databases, there is control. And a proof for the control is when you go and you want to publish a paper, you cry. You say, oh my God, 7, 8 months for publishing a paper. This is the real control and the peer review process. Okay? The internet might be irrelevant, biased, or outdated. As we said, they can bring the paper and every year change its date and just publish it again and again. The information might be irrelevant. You are talking about diabetes, they put for you information about hypertension. And definitely, I'm talking about the websites which are not good websites, or the sources which are not good sources. And bias, what I mean by bias, for example, a certain researcher, he gets money from a certain company, he publishes a paper, throws it in the internet, the information may be biased. On the other hand, electronic databases, information, everything is relevant, everything is controlled, okay? In the internet, you can have fake affiliations or institutions. They can put names of affiliation, names of institutions that are even not found, fake, they are not real, okay? While in the electronic databases, the information is linked to institutions. For example, when you do a study and you are from the American University of the Beirut, or from Tombay, it's a hospital or university, Tombay Hospital, or Gulf Medical University, all of these institutions are reliable institutions. Therefore, electronic databases, and one of them is PubMed, are the right source for our information. Just one site which is reliable in the internet. What is it? Do you know it? Anyone, if you want to answer? It is only the Google Scholar, okay? The Google Scholar is as reliable as the PubMed, okay? So when I say about the internet, when you put about Google, the normal Google, don't go for normal Google. Write Google Scholar, go for the website of Google Scholar, and then you can retrieve all the information that you want, okay? Databases, as I said, life is not rotating only around PubMed. We have all these databases, okay? So our title of this lecture was PubMed due to because of one thing, that we are going to make a live demonstration about it. But in reality, there are many databases. What is the difference between all these databases? Medline, which Medline is a subset of PubMed. It's related to it. EMBase, Cochrane, Best Evidence, CINAHL, PsycInfo, Eric Happy, and many others. The difference is that where in the content, meaning that, for example, EMBase is a biomedical database, okay, just about biomedical studies. The Cochrane is the leading resource for systematic reviews. Best Evidence for commentaries, expert commentaries. Commentaries are papers written to comment on other papers, okay, to criticize them. CINAHL is for nursing. If I want studies about nursing, I can go for, in CINAHL, PsycInfo for psychology, ERIC education research, and there are even databases related to regions or areas. For example, Happy, Central America, South America studies, or articles related to these areas, okay? So these are the databases. Type. You will ask me why we will go to the PubMed. Why? Because PubMed includes all those. So from the beginning, I go to the inclusive website, which includes all those. I just want also to mention one thing. What is PubMed? PubMed, sometimes if you go inside the website, you will read NIH, NLM, NCBI. All of these are were born from each other. The mother of all of these institutions is the National Institute of Health. Due to time limitation, I will not read all these. You will read them when you get the recording. But what I want to say is PubMed is a subset of all these. Yani, we had NIH, then after a certain period of time, a certain department from NIH was the NLM, the National Library of Medicine, which is the largest medical library in the world. And a department from the NLM was the National Center for Biotechnology Information, NCBI. So they are subsets of each other. And within the NCBI is PubMed, where Medline is also a subset of PubMed. Okay, so it means that if you want to go to PubMed site, you can go directly www.pubmed, etc. Okay, but you can also go to NIH. In the NIH, you press the NLM button. The NLM button, you press NCBI, and you will go to PubMed. You have this shortcut directly here, or you can go from NIH. Okay, so you can see the reason why PubMed is even under the largest medical library in the world. And if you can look at this also graph, sorry, it's not very clear. I couldn't find any other one in the internet. It's nice. PubMed is the biggest family. Even in science and in research, there is always comes the marketing and the business. Okay, so a certain company came and she bought, let us say, 80% of the resources in PubMed or the literature in it, and it made a subset which is Medline. Okay, so all the publication or the papers in PubMed are not found in Medline, but all the papers in Medline are found in PubMed. Okay, what is PubMed Central? Okay, in PubMed there are papers which are paid. Yani, there are two types of publication models. Either you publish your paper, and when it is published, it is an open access. You click in it, you download the whole paper for free for the people, everyone, for general audience, or it is subscription only. If you have a subscription in the journal, you can read the paper, or you can buy it. For example, each article $30, $14, whatever, from $10 until endlessly. Okay, so and this PubMed contains both types of articles, the free access articles and the non-free. PubMed Central is a website inside PubMed which is only for free articles. Okay, and Medline Plus is another. It contains the papers in PubMed, in Medline, and other branches. Okay, don't confuse yourself. We are going to talk about PubMed, which actually includes all these. Okay, and definitely when you are running a literature search for a paper, you don't need 20,000 papers. You read a certain number of papers according to the topic, according to the depth, according to the journal requirements. Some papers allow you only to use 30 references. Other than that, you have to delete some references. Okay, that PubMed database, we can also call it Medline, as we said. You can see it contains 5,200 biomedical journals and up to 20 million citations since 1950. Okay, these citations are all fine. So your grandfathers still have papers here in the PubMed website. Okay, it covers all the topics in medicine, nursing, dentistry, every single topic in healthcare. Okay, this is about PubMed. Now we want to search PubMed. How do we search PubMed? When we talked about searching, there are two types of searches as well as two techniques or two logistics. Let us talk first about the two types of searches. All of us know the type which is called the keyword search. From where do we get the keywords? If I had time more for the lecture, I would have waited for you to answer and would read the questions, but Ahmed and Jumana will kill me if I cross the time.
Don't worry about the questions. I'm noting down all the similar questions. So
I mean, I want to ask them a question and wait for them.
True.
You will kill me. You and Ahmed will kill me. Okay. So we have two types of search: the keyword search as well as the subject search. This is somehow new to students. Okay, the keyword search. From the word, you put the keywords and you search for them. Okay, from where do we get the keywords? We will see now from the research question. The subject search is a bit new, okay, and it is an advanced step. If you are still a beginner in being very professional in literature search, you can begin with the keyword search, okay? The keyword search means that you bring the PICO elements, post-splenectomy patients, aspirin, whatever, and you put each keyword. And we will see we can join keywords and we can mix and match them together, and you will get results matching the exact terms. For example, okay, if I put hypertension, I will get papers about hypertension. Okay, but if I put high blood pressure, I will not get papers about hypertension. I will get papers about high blood pressure. Okay, This is why you may miss alternative terms. For example, if I put diabetes, if I put diabetes mellitus, I will not get papers about diabetes insipidus and all the types of diabetes. خلاص, only diabetes mellitus, okay? So, and often it results sometimes in false hits, okay? It is very rare. On the other hand, if we go to the subject search, results match the concept. We are talking about a concept. For example, if I write diabetes, it will retrieve papers about diabetes mellitus, diabetes insipidus, high blood sugar, high glucose in the blood, okay? All of these concepts, you understand. It is only you are searching for subject. For example, also high lipid level in the blood, okay? It will search for hyperlipidemia, hypercholesterolemia, okay? So it searches for the subject. This way, you will really capture all or most 90% of, you will not miss anything. You will capture 90% of the papers, okay? And what is the subject search called? It is called mesh. And these terms, here we use the keywords. We will talk and I will show you keywords. In the subject search, you use mesh terms. And in the PubMed site, you will have two areas. Here you search for the keywords, and then down you go to another page, you will search for the mesh, okay? It improves precision and saves time because you can get all the papers. For example, I want to talk about diabetes, okay? In general, if I write diabetes, it would give me only diabetes, but when I write in the keywords, but in the subject, it will search for everything about diabetes, okay? And it is very good for well-defined topic, and I will add to that for experienced researchers, okay? Here we talked about the types of search. Now we will talk about the rules and the syntax. Syntax is, if there are people who are familiar with coding, syntax is the way you write the code, the way you write, okay? First, you can use in the PubMed Boolean operators. These, we took them in the math classes at school. Thanks God, we are done from them. But they reappeared here for us. Boolean operators are and, or, and not. You can write, for example, post-splenectomy patient and aspirin. Or you can do it post-splenectomy patients or aspirin, not aspirin. I will talk about what does each one mean. And you have to notice one thing. You have to write these Boolean, for them to be Boolean operators, you have to write them in capital letters, okay? Enclosing individual concepts in parentheses. If you enclose the individual concepts, for example, the words you write, for example, you put this is a keyword and you put a Boolean operator and then this is a keyword. If you put them in parentheses, okay, you can put them in parentheses. Not if you put them, I mean, you can put them in parentheses. So you can join them together, okay? For example, common cold and this is a Boolean operator, vitamin C or zinc. Okay, so it will retrieve papers about common cold and vitamin C and common cold and zinc or zinc. Okay, we will see examples now. The third one is truncation. Truncation is very important. There are some base words or suffix words, prefix words that are used, base words, and then you build on them. For example, bacteria, bacterium, bacteriophage. So if you put this star, the truncation, you will get everything that is related to bacteria, bacterium, bacteriophage, hyper. If you put hyper and you put the star, hyperlipidemia, hyperactivity, I don't know what, okay, everything which is hypercholesterolemia, everything, okay? So this is important. And finally, if you want to search for an exact phrase, for example, if you write peptic ulcer without these quotations, it will give you papers either about peptic or ulcer. So if you write peptic ulcer and you put the quotations, it will give you about peptic ulcer. And this is very important when we have concepts which are made up of 2 words, okay? Which are made up of 2 words. And they are one concept but made up of 2 words, okay? And finally, there are the filters. I will show you the filters in the demonstration session. Okay, the Boolean operators, how they are and what is their meaning. As you see, if you have the red and the blue, when you put or, it is either the red or the blue. Okay, so either vitamin Z or zinc. You will not get both. On the other hand, if you put and, you will get papers with vitamin C and zinc. Okay, you know what I mean? Here you will get papers about vitamin C alone, here about zinc alone. Not will give you papers that are not about vitamin C and not about zinc. For example, COVID-19 vaccine side effects, not children. So this means I am looking for COVID-19 vaccine side effects in every in every age group except children. Okay, and this is very important because it eases our life. It makes our life easier. And what does it do? And narrows the search. Okay, it narrows down my search, which is great. Okay. On the other hand, the or expands because it is either this or that. So you will get this and that, but not together. Okay. Not, it excludes, it does not include any term for the search results. And let me show you an example by number of articles. By the way, wait, let me remove this. By the way, it is very important, and it is not a success to retrieve millions of articles at the same time. You will get lost. You will definitely not use them all. And you primarily, you will get lost. Okay. It is very important to narrow down your search. Therefore, for any topic, if you write, let us have an example here. If you write elevated iron, the research question is elevated liver iron concentration in beta thalassemia patients. Okay. If we talk about, if we put in the keywords high iron levels, okay, we will get 6,000 something papers. If we get thalassemia alone, we will get 22,000 something. Now look about the narrowing down. If we put high iron level or thalassemia, it is narrowed down from 22,000 to 13,000. Okay. Okay. Now the and, if we put high iron level and thalassemia, it is 238. So if you see and is narrower than or, and narrows more than or. Okay. And if you put and, you put many terms, you can put as much as you can. Yani high and liver and iron and beta thalassemia, you will get 106 papers. To be honest, this is the logical number for papers to look at. And definitely from these 106, this is the general literature. Remember, when we get these 106, we will go specifically and look at each one of them. And we will, from 106, maybe take only 40 papers. And also from the 40, we will not use them all. We will use 30 or 25 in our paper. Okay. Now, regarding the mesh terms and the keywords. The keywords, as we said, keyword search is still very necessary. Even if you you are so advanced in your in literature search, you will still need the keywords. Okay, you will begin with the keywords and then you move from them to the mesh terms, the subject search. Keywords are taken from the PICO, as I said, from where you get them. They are easy, fast, natural language. And by the way, and the most important thing is not all databases. You remember the CINAHL, the PsycInfo, electronic databases. Not all of them contain or have mesh terms option. Okay. On the other hand, mesh terms are more advanced. And what do they stand for? Mesh terms stands for medical subject heading. It is a type of a thesaurus. You will tell me, how do they get them? It is a type of thesaurus. Or what is the thesaurus? Thesaurus, it is a dictionary for synonyms for the words of the same meaning. But here it is a subject thesaurus. It is a controlled vocabulary list of the US NLM library. And yearly they updated. It is updated yearly. Every year they add 10 to 20 terms for the already existing list. Okay. And only Medline articles have mesh terms, not all PubMed, only the Medline articles. Okay, as you remember, Medline articles are the subset of PubMed. Okay, and it contains 25,000 subject headings. Okay, so it is a very advanced search. We will see how, and it provides, as I said, the precision and accuracy. This is only a snapshot of the, I will go live now in the PubMed search, but this is only a snapshot of the page. When you open the PubMed page, PubMed, you will find this. This tab, it's the search tab. What do you use it for? For the keywords, okay? So you use it for the keywords. Where do we go and search for the mesh? Down here. in this main page, down everything you write here. Maybe you will think that one of my students told me, Doctor, I am putting in this tab the mesh term that I would wanted. No, you don't decide this is a mesh term or no. Okay, you go to the mesh term page, because if you write diabetes here, the system will take it as a keyword. But if you go to the mesh database and you write diabetes, the system will take it as a subject heading. Okay, so here you put the keyword, and down you go to the subject heading. If we click on mesh database, it will take you here. You see, you click down there and it will take you here. You can see it from here. It is called mesh. You write again diabetes, it will be systematically changed into a subject heading, and he will search for the not keyword diabetes, the subject diabetes, and everything below it. Okay, and you write it here. Okay. If you want to access this PubMed site, you can go into www.pubmed.gov, or as I told you, the official NLM website, and it will take you into PubMed. You will have an icon. And now we will go to the illustration session, where I will go live and I will explain to you how we do all these concepts. Hello, Jumani, are you still there? Yes, Habibi. Habibti, yes.
Before going to the illustration,
Yes.
should we take a few questions only?
I would love it. I would
a few
love
questions that are very like interesting, at least.
Yes.
Since we
But
have here
but
students
I need not so much, because I don't want to miss time from the demonstration. Let us begin.
Yeah,
Well,
one
how
question.
as much as you want.
Yeah. Now this question actually relates to the search that you will go ahead and illustrate. One of the audience, she is asking about, can we apply the PICO elements in the non-clinical research, like pharmaceutical research or lab experiment testing, drug delivery system efficacy versus others? I felt like this is, yeah.
Definitely she can, definitely. PICO elements are applied anywhere. You can definitely apply them. Yes, sure. Yes, sure, she can.
So can you just demonstrate, while demonstrating, you can just explain the way?
Yes, yes. But if you want, we can answer other questions. Okay.
Another
but
question?
Yes, and remind. Yes, if you want.
Okay. One of the students is requesting for any, is there any minimum number of articles to cite or to be covered in a review article?
Okay, always I get this question. It depends on many things. First of all, it depends on the topic itself. Okay, if the topic is so broad, okay, you can go in more number of articles. Okay, sorry, specific. You can go in more number of articles, because you have to collect more evidence. And the second thing, it depends on the journal, Jumana. The journal is the one who defines how many papers they need in the review, and some of them, they define it. They say 30 to 40 references are accepted only. And I want to say something. The more is not the better. For example, if you talk about an idea and you, which is 2 lines, and you put for it 4 references, it's not better. Okay. The only, always the average is between 30 to 40. Very rarely I see papers with 100, except for guidelines, for systematic reviews. Yes, there are. Okay, but for a review, you don't need more than 40. This is the maximum, and it is maybe a little bit too much. Okay.
No. Excellent. Shall we go for the illustration, demonstration?
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Yes, sure. Okay. But let me first share the screen, and tell me please when it appears. Okay.
Come on. Yes, we can see it. Perfect.
Okay. Today I want to apologize from you from one thing, which I was so angry since 2 days ago. In this, it is deactivated actually, and we cannot access it, but it is not a main issue for us. If you look at this page, this is the page of the PubMed. You can write the website and it will take you here. If you read here the word login, this is the deactivated part. Login for what? In PubMed, the very good thing is that you can make an account like Hotmail, like ResearchGate, like ORCID ID. Okay, you can make an account for you, and this account is very important because you can save your searches into folders. you can ask for alerts. For example, I am carrying out a research on COVID-19 and I am collecting data this period, and every day I work for 1 hour. So I want to know all the papers that are currently published under COVID-19 vaccine. I put an alert with some specifications, and every paper in the world which is indexed in PubMed and published, they will send it to me via email, and they will alert me here that today this is a paper about this topic that you chose. The filters, for example, you save certain filters, okay? And unfortunately, this login, it's been for 2 days freeze because they are changing some authentication characteristics or specifications in the website. I have sent them an email. They are apologizing that you cannot access your account, not me, worldwide, just for 2 days, because every period of time they make authentication for hackers and everything. Okay, so unfortunately we cannot access it. And in it you can, as I told you, for example, I'm working, Jumana, on 5 topics at the same time, 5 papers. You can make folders. You can make masalan diabetes, paper on diabetes, paper on gynecology, etc. You can make folders, and all the searches that you search, you can drop them in the relevant folders, and you can log out and go. The second day, you can log in again. You can go to the folder of diabetes. These are the papers that I searched for. I work with each one of them. I need it. I can email it to my friend. I can save it. I can, whatever I do with it. Okay. It's not a basic function. We can get away with it tonight. Okay. Let us begin. This is the page, as I told you, PubMed page, the general. This is the keyword tab where you can write whatever you want, diabetes. I always, if you see, I always use this example. I don't know, someday I will get diabetes. I don't know why. Okay.
No way,
And then,
Bismillah.
thank you. And then we have these tabs there. This is the mesh database. I will go over it, but let me first click on it. You see, when we click on it, it will take you here to this famous mesh page. When I write again diabetes here, it will give me the mesh topics. Okay, let us go back. Under the mesh, there is something called journals. Do you know that PubMed is a database not only for articles, it is for journals, it's for books, it's for clinical trials, everything. Okay, so journals is wonderful option. Why? Many times, and not many times, always, we don't know what journal we want to publish in, or we look at a certain journal, we don't know if it is a real journal, it is a predatory, it is a hack journal, we don't know any information about it. Where do we get this information? Okay, we can click on journal, and then this can take us to something called NLM catalog journal database. Okay, for example, you can search by topic, by the title, by the abbreviation or ISSN, or abbreviation name of the journal, or ISSN of the journal. Okay, in order to enter the topic, for example, if I am searching about hemophilia, the thalassemia, it is in general about blood, right? So I write blood. I can also write thalassemia, and I can click on it. Click on it, the search button. It gives me 152 journals that you can publish in related to blood. Okay, for example, blood and genomics. What's more interesting and more nice is that when you click about any journal name, okay, you can get the ID or the history or whatever about the journal itself. The name of the journal, the publication, it started publishing in 2020, its country. This is very important, by the way. The publisher, who is the publisher, the language, and it is in PubMed. I want to show you other options. Not all journals have filled all the options. Let us see this journal. I want to show you that also they mentioned the publication type periodical. So it is a periodical, not yearly, periodical, and you can go inside the website. This is the electronic link. You click in it, you go into the website. Okay, these are the blood cancer discovery, for example. Okay, so this is a wonderful website and notes. For example, they put for you notes. Online articles are published and made available via publish, etc. Okay, so this is a very important option, or very important, sorry, feature. Let us go back to our search. Let us try. Really, I want to use the diabetes because it is on this example everything
The
applies.
easiest
Okay.
one, yeah. And you can get many.
Okay. Let us put diabetes. As I told you, we are now with the general literature search. Okay. I am looking for papers about diabetes, and now we will put the keywords. Okay. I write diabetes. It takes me to this interesting and very important and lovely page. Let us look or talk about the anatomy of this page. First of all, this is the search bar. Okay. You can from here put all the words and you build on it with the Boolean operators, etc. And you can click search. Okay. Let us first look at the display. If we look at this display, it gives me, as you see here, this is one article, this is two articles. These are what? These are the articles that I retrieved. Okay, how many articles did I retrieve? I retrieved 247,000 results, articles. I will never, almost 250,000. Will I use these 250,000 articles in my search? No. I want to refine my search. We will look at refining my search where? In the filters. All these are filters. Before the filters, let us first, as I told you, look at it, at the view. The display options are important options. Okay, first, wait. This is the paper. What is this? The paper name or the title. Where is it published? This is the name of the journal. Okay, name of the journal. Each paper has a certain publication date. This is it, 2018, December. This is the volume of the volume in which it was published, and this is issue number 6. Okay, and this is the digital online identifier, which is a number like the barcode or QR code. It is only in this whole world. It's the only one which has this DOI. For example, you can put DOI, you will retrieve the paper. And in PubMed, there is a certain thing called PubMed ID. Each paper, it has a certain ID, like the number of our passports, etc. This is the PubMed ID. So if you copy this and paste it in Google, it will retrieve this paper for you. Okay. And this is a little summary about the paper. Okay. We have this type of display. First of all, you have many options for display. You can display this paper with its summary or with its abstract. You know what is the abstract? The abstract is the summary of the paper, the mini summary of the paper. To me, I always use this. Why? Because when you scan the papers, you never read all the papers from A to Z. You will scan the abstract. If you like the paper, you will save it. So for me, instead of clicking on the paper and going to it, I will click again after this demonstration and tell you also about this, and reading the abstract I wanted or not, and then going back to save my time. I can put the display options abstract, sorry, 1 minute, the display options abstract, and what will it do? For every paper, it will display the abstract of the paper. Okay, so this is the first paper, this is its abstract. Okay, the search page will be longer, but at least I will be faster in my search. This is the second paper, this is its abstract. Okay, remember one thing, the paper that I want, I will click on it. It is okay, I want this. This one I don't want, number 2. This one I want, I will click also on it. Okay, but remember one thing, don't click on these and choose them until we finish the filtering. Okay, and until you have a logical number of papers. I'm just showing you now. Okay, I click on them. Now I will clear the selection. I don't want them. Another display option is the best match. For example, I want papers which best match the word diabetes, or I want papers which are in diabetes, but the most recent. I want papers for a certain journal, for a certain public. We'll see that later, okay? But now let's put the best match. Another or a third option for display options, if you look here, per page 10, it means that you have 10 pages per papers per page. After this is the 10th paper. This is the paper number 10 here, okay? So you will go and do next. Instead of every 10 papers pushing next, especially if you have a slow internet like our country. So what you will do, you will put display options 200. Okay, 200, it will give you 200 papers per display page, meaning that every 200 papers, you will have the page refreshed, okay? I'm sorry, we have a little bit delay in the net. Are you still online with me, Jumana?
Yes, we can see it.
Oh, but I don't know what's happening. Oh, sorry. Okay. So we can have 200. Let me try it again. I think it's taking time because it's refreshing 200 papers. Okay.
Yeah, because many papers are there in the same page.
No problem. I will just skip it. But you will have 200 papers that are displayed. Okay. This is regarding the display. Now, the best part of our talk is the filters. So we have 247,000 papers. There are too many. I want to filter them definitely. First of all, we have the publication date. Okay. You know, and you know very well that always or almost all research studies or all research papers require papers which are published for the last 5 years, okay? Either in your thesis, either in your journals, and sometimes in very strict and very emergent topics like the pandemic of Corona. You know, daily we have 20,000 papers published. So I don't think Corona is still for 2 years, but after 5 years, the info 5 years back in Corona will be outdated. So you will need to have papers regarding information about 1 year. Okay, let us try this. If we put 1 year, you will see it was 247,000. You know, here the number dropped to 36,000, 63,000. Okay, so 63,000 papers. This is filter number 1. Excellent. So I got rid of almost 200 or 180,000 papers. This is great. Another additional filter is the article type. Okay, I want clinical trials only. I want review articles. I want meta-analyses. I want systematic reviews. Let us try and put clinical articles. Once I click on it, remember we have 63,000. Let us see the number. It will drop till the number dropped to 1,794 clinical trials, from 63,000 to 1,794. Excellent. Okay. Type. We have these are the most important article attribute. Don't think of it. The text availability. Not all papers have abstracts. They have abstracts when they are published, okay, and when you download them. But not all papers have their abstracts in PubMed, especially papers sometimes that are not paid, okay. So abstract, I want paper abstract or with abstract, or I want paper with free full text. You know what's free full text? Full text are the papers which are the paid and the free. But free full text, to be very honest, I never pay for retrieving a paper except when the topic, the number of papers that I search for is very little, or the topic is very sensitive. Usually I put free full text, okay? Or when I am at my institution and the papers are downloaded for free, okay? I put free full text, and what I will find that these papers are all, if you see, free PMC. This means what? Free full text, that you can download the paper. Now we will see how we can download the papers, okay? These are the filters. Are these the only filters? Let us see the number. Wow, 900 to 923 papers. It dropped down. Remember, from almost 250,000 papers till 923, okay? Additional filters, we will look at the additional filters. You can have in the article type all these articles, okay? Okay, you can have bibliography, lecture, whatever, letter, news, all these types of articles are found. You can just click on them and they will give you about diabetes, okay? Species, you can look, I am a veterinarian, okay, and I want to search for diabetes in animals. I can click either animals or humans. Sorry. These papers might contain animals and humans. I want only in humans, okay, so I can click in humans. Language, I can choose the language that I want, Arabic, Bulgarian, whatever. Usually we work in English, and the default language for PubMed is English. Sex, I can look for, let us try it, clinical trials, diabetes clinical trials for the last year with free full text in males. Okay, sorry, in males. You put it here, and then you put, where is it? And you choose it. When you choose this filter, we had the 923 clinical trials in diabetes for the last year. Oh, 541. So it threw away 400 almost papers, 400 papers which are on females. Now we are working on males. So what are the filters? These papers that I have are free full text papers. They are clinical trials. They are only for the last year and among males. Let us see what other age. We can look at age. For example, males who are adults from 19 to 44. Okay, let us try it and put it. You put show. We have, let us look, we have 541 papers. Let us choose 19 to 44 age group. Okay, from 541 papers, it will drop down to 265 papers. Okay, this is the filtration. This is the first thing we can do. We can work on filtration. Now, do we have more criteria? Yes, definitely. I want all this criteria in males, clinical trials, and adults in United States, for example. Okay, this here steps in the Boolean operators, the Boolean operators and or not. No, you know something? Let me first, before talking about the Boolean operator. Oh, okay. I will talk about that and and I will show you then how to download. Okay, where do we go? We go to the advanced. In the advanced search here, I can use the Boolean operator. If you look at here, you have the Boolean operators. You can add and, add or, add not. Okay, so and here is the history and search details. Okay, this is my history and search details. By the way, when we come to this page, our filters are still applicable. Don't worry. Okay, so I write diabetes. Okay, I choose and okay, it's written here and sorry, the internet is slow a little bit. Okay, diabetes and sorry, this is the last one. Okay, diabetes and the United States, or let me, okay, United, no, diabetes and thalassemia. Okay, diabetes and thalassemia. Okay, diabetes and United thalassemia. I'm so sorry for the mistake. Diabetes and thalassemia. Okay, diabetes and thalassemia. It is written. Now, what do? Search. I search. It will give me the, no results because it's so specific. Let us see diabetes and COVID-19. Okay. So, okay. I went out from it. I write again diabetes. Okay. Add. It is added to the query box. And, okay. I am choosing and. If I want or, I can choose or. It will click to or. Okay. But I want and. Diabetes and COVID-19. Okay. Okay. Diabetes and COVID-19. Let us search. I hope it works. We can. 18 results. This is excellent. Okay. So diabetes and COVID-19. We are okay with 18 results. I like these papers. I want to check each paper more. Okay. So I go to this paper. I go to it. If you see each paper, it will have this page. In this page, this is a randomized clinical trial. What is the type of the paper? New England Journal of Medicine. I can click on it. It can take me to the journal. It is the date of publication, the volume. This is the issue. January 27. This is the volume. This is the issue. And these are the pages. It is from page 305 to 315. So it is 10 pages. Okay. This is the digital online identifier, etc. This is the title, and these are the authors. These authors, you can click on each author. What will give you? It will give me all the papers in PubMed for this author. This author, he has 37 papers. He's a good researcher. Okay, Maybe I like this paper and I want to know all the papers that because usually authors have research areas they work in. Yes, exactly. So this paper is this doctor is a researcher in this topic. Okay, so I want to see all his papers. Okay, you can expand. I want to see the affiliations. I expand it. I go to all the collaborators. Usually, by the way, what is the difference between a collaborator and an author? Collaborators are people who sometimes collect the data, are assistants to these authors, but usually these are the main authors. Okay, and these are the authors. This is the PubMed ID, PubMed CID, whatever. Okay, you can see that here it is a free PubMed article in the PMC. This is the abstract, etc. And what is nice about this is that it gives you always similar articles. So to be very clever, I never, okay, I like this paper. I never leave this page and go search for other papers in this topic. The clever thing to do, and Jumana is agrees with me, you go to similar articles. These similar articles will save you huge time in looking. These are the tips and tricks. You can go inside each paper and you will definitely see the same ideas and the same filters, etc. And more than that, in this paper, when you download it, and I will show you how you can download it. When you download this paper, you can go to its reference list, the reference list of this paper, and you can retrieve papers. So you can manage your research this way. Okay. If you want to download it, you can look here. This is the site of the paper in the New England Journal of Medicine. If you click on it, it will take you to the New England Journal of Medicine, the site. This is the paper, etc. But in order to download it in this journal, you have to create an account and to sign in. I don't have all this luxury time. Okay. So what I will do, I will go to the PMC. The PubMed has given me this option and luxury. I can click on it. Okay. It can give me this page, which is under PubMed. I can go here, PDF. I can click on this PDF and it will give me, 1 second, this arrow. I can click on it and you can see here, I can download it in any folder of mine. Okay, this is the way we can download the papers. Another way, if the paper is not free, you can go to the website of the, you will not have this icon. You can go to the website of the journal. They will tell you, pay for it, yani $15, for example, 40, 35, whatever, or put the code of your institution. For example, Jumana, I'm very sure GMU have this luxury for you. Once you are inside GMU, you can put the passcode or under the IP address of GMU, you can directly download the paper. Okay. You like the paper, it is okay with you. So what do you do here? You can make, you can choose it. Okay, you can look at many papers. For example, I want this one, I want this one. I don't want to work with them now. What shall I do? I want to save them later. Where? In this, unfortunately, not working today, the account. Today. What you do? Yes, today. You go to send to, and collections. When you put collections, let me see if the collections, it will show us the collections, but it's not working today. When you put in the collections, you see warning, login update warning, the ability to, it is not working today. When you send to collections, it will give you the names of your folders. You can throw it in the diabetes study folder, for example. Okay. And you can continue your work another day. Okay.
Exactly. So basically, it's acting like how Mendeley works.
Exactly. Exactly. Habibti, we are
sorry for the interruption. We have almost 5 minutes to wrap up the session.
I will wrap up. I will wrap up.
Excellent.
Definitely.
It's very interesting to listen to you and go on.
By the way, I want to tell you something. Last in January, in December, I traveled and I gave a workshop for 2 days in literature search. We have exercises, we have everything. Okay, so unfortunately, creating alerts. I know. Creating alerts, as I told you, you have to create alerts. You click on it. I actually have 2 things to talk about. You create the alert, you click on it, it will give you information. For example, I want, also it's not working. Okay, you write, I want everything about diabetes, about COVID-19, etc. and they will send it to your inbox here. So the second day you come, oh, 5 papers are published in the PubMed. Okay. One last thing in the let me show you something, and we can go to questions. There is much more to talk about, much more, but as I told you, Jumana and Ahmed will kill me if I extend my time. Okay. The mesh terms, as we said, they have their own icon. Okay, you can click on it. 1 minute, I'm not able to reach it. Okay, here you click on the mesh database, and it is the same. It is the same. You write diabetes, okay, and diabetes, and it will take you to the topics of diabetes. The topics, okay. You click on them, and you will get, these are all the papers in diabetes, etc. Mellitus, insipidus, it gives you all those. Jumana, I will end the session here. As I told you, if I had time, I had exercises, etc. What shall we do?
Yes, definitely. And
Okay.
can I just suggest one more thing, Doctora? If
Sure.
possible, when this login comes back, since many of the audience are requesting for these slides, they are really interested in the session. Can you add screenshot or the way how to add the notification, for example, or the collection to the slides, and then we can share it to them? That would be great if it's possible.
I will give you another better option. Currently, we have done. I'm running the critical appraisal series, as you know, in IVPN network. Now we are running the building skills series. The next section, the next session, or the next lecture in 2 months is EndNote, reference management in EndNote. So I can, in the first 10-15 minutes, and this will encourage them, all the 142 attendees, please attend the next session. Yes. I will show you how to use this. And by the way, I should. Why? Because there is a link between PubMed and the EndNote. I am obliged, because I will show them the saved searches. They can directly export them to EndNote. So
excellent.
Yes, Habibti. Don't worry at all.
Excellent.
Habibti. We can go to our questions.
Yeah, we will take one question now. Very interesting question, actually.
Yes.
One of the comments, Doctora, I really would like to read it. Ala is telling, I am in the middle of writing my thesis, and that actually was a really big help. Thank you so much.
You can contact me, Habibti Ala. You can contact me anytime. You can take my contacts from Jumana or Dr. Ahmed. You can contact me anytime. I can help you. I can give you a separate session alone if you want. No worries at all.
Okay, so the question we have here, do you recommend any journals for paper submission which is beneficial for students at the current level if they would like to publish their papers?
Okay, I want to tell you something. Choosing the journal, it is not according to level. Choosing a journal have many criteria. First of all, the scope of the topic itself. Okay, we begin with the topic. For example, it is about again and again thalassemia. We will go to journals which are under the blood or blood diseases, whatever, hematology. After we take that, we have to look what defines or what decides the journal is our quality of work. For example, if it is a paper with the sample size 100 population sample size, it is different from a clinical trial which is have 5,000 sample size. Okay, this is something else. Another thing regarding the students, I definitely agree with them. Unless the paper is highly written with big names in it, okay, they can publish in high impact factor journals. But at the beginning, they can begin with impact factor journals 1 and less, okay? These papers highly accept student work, and I advise them also to always look at the methodology section. If it is a case report, or case control or cross-sectional study, the methodology section is the one which is attacked by the reviewers. It's either the paper is accepted or refused according to the methodology of the paper. So there are no, last thing, just there, we cannot define papers according to students or professionals. No, at New England Journal of Medicine, a student can publish on it. What defines is the paper, is his work. Okay, so don't worry, have a brave heart and go publish in the New England Journal of Medicine. No worries.
Allah Yasadik. Thank you so much, Doctora.
And I want just another thing. Sorry, another thing. There is no restrictions for you as student to submit to such a paper. What will happen? You will be very sure that it will be rejected and you will lose time only. But always try your luck and aim high. Publish in high. يا ماما أحمد طلع لنا. Okay, Ahmed, I will finish the session. Okay, Ahmed. So this is it. If you give me 2 hours now, I'm ready to talk 2 hours. I love our audience, and I don't know the comments are positive or negative. Wallah, I don't know. Alhamdulillah.
No. All the comments, all the audience were really happy for this session. Many of them actually are doing their thesis. Many of them
Alhamdulillah.
are doing papers.
Alhamdulillah.
So on behalf of all the audience, would really love to thank you and big applause for this wonderful session.
Inshallah, if we have the chance someday for the IVPN network to make training course, we have exercises, we have real work, yani, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Dr. Osama Tabba, for today's session. I would leave the stage to Dr. Ahmed for the closing remarks.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jumana, for your amazing efforts in moderating this fantastic event. Dr. Sama, already I was, enjoying every second. I learned from you a lot, actually. So learning is always a growth curve in our life. So definitely very valuable. And I agree with you. 1 hour is not enough. It's a workshop. So we can definitely, inshallah, the plans are limitless. We can always do a course, do a 3 days workshop, hands-on exercises, assignments, so that really people grasp the content. Now, the beauty of this session was that it was eye-opening. You instilled many important concepts in the audience minds and the skill sets. Yeah. So
can I add one more thing, Ahmad? Please, for
sure.
our audience, for our listserv members, you can always contact us with your ideas, with whatever you want, okay? If you have an idea, we can always present. If you have gap in knowledge in any topic, please contact us. We are very near, okay? Dr. Ahmad is on the floor always, so please give us ideas and we are ready to deliver.
Inshallah. Thank you. It was a very interactive also Q&A's period. Be assured that we will save your questions. Any unanswered questions will be sent to Dr. Sama and get back to you on this, inshallah. Thank you, superstar Dr. Sama, for sharing your valuable time and expertise tonight with us. Amazing by all means, speaker, moderator, audience, everyone. I believe everyone in the audience is looking forward to the next steps in this series. So what do you have in mind, Dr. Sama, for the next topic in this skills building?
The next topic, which is complementary to this, Ahmad, is the endnote, because after we retrieve these articles, what we will do with them, we will throw them in endnote and then we will reference. And the endnote is much more interesting than this session.
Perfect.
Okay.
And as Dr. Jumana said, and Ramesh, that certificates of attendance will be issued to you, inshallah, within a maximum of 7 days. And the recording and presentation slides also will be uploaded, as Dr. Jumana said, on the IVPN library website within a maximum of 2 weeks.
Thank you for all my colleagues in IVPN network who are attending today. Thank you for your support.
Thank you. And with this, we come to the end of our Journal Club session for today. I would like to deeply thank each one of the active presence of the audience, making this session interactive, fruitful as possible. Stay tuned. We have our upcoming activity on March 5. March 5 will be about a journal club about an article for vancomycin dosing strategies across different practice settings around the world. We will have speakers from the US and Canada. Block your calendar and the announcement will be released soon, inshallah. If you are not yet part of the IVPN network, please visit our website as shown in the opening remarks and ivpn-network.com. Register for our listserv, especially the Journal Club and others. And you are always welcome to join the IVPN family. Thank you for your trust in IVPN and passion in advancing your expertise and your career. Have a good evening, rest of the day. Goodbye.
Good evening. Bye-bye. الله يعافيكم. باي باي.